Dear Starseeds walking the earth at this impossible moment, something is happening to you that has no name in your current language. You wake in the middle of the night, and the air around you feels different, denser, as though reality itself has split into two frequencies vibrating at once. You look at the people you love, and sometimes you can see them clearly, and other times it's as though you're looking at them through water, distorted, unreachable. You thought you were losing your mind. You thought the anxiety, the sleeplessness, the feeling that the world is both ending and beginning at once was yours alone. But what I'm about to reveal will change everything you thought you understood about what's really happening on your planet right now. You are not going crazy. You are not broken. You are not imagining the heaviness you feel when you walk into certain rooms, certain conversations, certain relationships that used to feel like home. What you're experiencing is the most profound dimensional shift your planet has undergone in 12,000 years. And your body, your consciousness, your very cells are registering a split that most of humanity cannot yet perceive. There are two worlds forming on Earth right now, occupying the same physical space but vibrating at entirely different frequencies. And you, beloved, are standing at the crossroads, one foot in each world, feeling the unbearable tension of a choice that is being made through you, not by you. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I have watched civilizations rise and fall across countless galaxies. I have witnessed the birth of stars and the death of entire dimensions. But what is happening on Earth right now is something even the ancient ones speak of in hushed tones. Your planet is not simply evolving, it is dividing, and the split is happening inside of you first. Before we go further into what this means, I need you to understand something that will sound impossible. Everything you think of as your personality, your patterns, your struggles, your fears and your doubts, are not actually yours. You have been carrying the stories of others since the moment you took your first breath. Your grandmother's grief, your father's rage, your mother's unworthiness, your ancestors' trauma, spanning back generations. These stories wrap around you like invisible chains, and other people can feel them even when you think you're hiding them perfectly. When you wonder why love doesn't stay, why abundance feels just out of reach, why you sabotage yourself at the threshold of your dreams, it is because you are dragging a library of other people's narratives behind you, and the weight of them creates the very reality you're trying to escape. The Astasar Command has been monitoring Earth's collective consciousness for decades, watching as the old programming, the fear-based systems, the stories of separation reached a critical mass. What you call trauma, what you label as personal wounds, are actually energetic imprints that do not belong to you. They are inherited frequencies that you agreed to carry when you incarnated into this dimension. But here is what changes everything. The split that is happening now is creating a threshold where these stories can no longer pass through. One of the two worlds forming on your planet operates in a frequency where carried stories simply dissolve. The other world solidifies them, makes them more real, more permanent, more defining. Think about this carefully. You have watched your reality become more polarized, more extreme, more divided every year. You have felt relationships break apart over ideas that used to be simple dinner table disagreements. You have witnessed families fracture, communities splinter, entire nations tear themselves apart over fundamental disagreements about truth itself. This is not political. This is not social media's fault. This is not the result of any single leader or movement or ideology. This is the split becoming visible in the physical realm, the two worlds beginning to occupy different frequencies of consciousness while still sharing the same geographical space. What I am about to share will sound harsh, but it comes from profound love. Every disaster, every crisis, every moment of collective suffering that you witness is not random. It is not punishment. It is not evidence that Source has abandoned you, or that darkness is winning. These eruptions of chaos are the old world stories coming to the surface to be seen, to be witnessed, to be released. Your planet is undergoing what your mystics might call a purification, but that word is too gentle for what's really happening. Earth is vomiting up 12,000 years of accumulated lies, inherited trauma, and collective delusion. And the reason it feels so overwhelming, so constant, so relentless is because you are not just healing this lifetime. You are not just clearing your childhood wounds. You are clearing bloodlines, releasing ancestral karma, and dissolving stories that were old when the pyramids were young. The first sign that you are living through the split is a sensation that has no medical name. Your body feels heavy, impossibly heavy, as though gravity itself has doubled. You wake exhausted even after sleeping for 10 hours. Your limbs feel like they're moving through molasses. Simple tasks that used to take minutes now require enormous effort. Doctors find nothing wrong. Tests come back normal. But you know something fundamental has changed in your relationship with the physical realm. This is not chronic fatigue. This is not depression, though it may wear that mask. This is your consciousness literally straddling two-dimensional frequencies, and your body is processing the energetic load of existing in both worlds simultaneously. You are not sick. You are transitioning. Your cells are recalibrating to a higher frequency while still maintaining function in the denser reality. And the sensation is excruciating because no one prepared you for what it feels like to birth yourself into a new dimension while your physical form is still rooted in the old one. The Estasar Command has been tracking this phenomenon across your planet, and what they have discovered is staggering. Those of you experiencing this bone-deep exhaustion are not the ones failing to adapt. You are the ones leading the way. Your bodies are the literal battleground where the old frequency and the new frequency are meeting, and the heaviness you feel is the weight of transformation itself. You are not behind. You are at the front lines of a cosmic shift, and your exhaustion is not weakness. It is evidence of the immense work your system is doing to anchor a new paradigm while simultaneously releasing the old one. But here is what almost no one is telling you. This heaviness will not lift until you stop carrying what was never yours to carry. Remember what I said about stories, about the invisible chains of other people's narratives wrapped around your energy field. The split is making them visible. Suddenly you can feel exactly when you are operating from your mother's fear instead of your own knowing. You can sense when your father's anger is speaking through your mouth. You can identify the moment your grandmother's worthlessness program activates and sabotages your success. This is not regression. This is revelation. The higher frequency that one of the two worlds is anchoring does not allow carried stories to exist within it. It is a dimension of sovereign consciousness, and to enter it, you must release every narrative that does not originate from your own soul's truth. But releasing these stories is not a mental exercise. You cannot think your way free. You cannot affirm your way out. You cannot manifest your way past them. These stories live in your body, in your cellular memory, in the very structure of your energy field, and they are fighting for their survival right now, because they can feel the split too. They can sense that their time is ending, so they are getting louder, more aggressive, more insistent. They are creating crises, triggering old wounds, dragging up ancient pain, anything to keep you locked in the frequency where they can continue to exist. This is why your life may feel like it is falling apart right now. The stories are making their last stand, and the battlefield is your nervous system. The second sign of the split is more disturbing. You look at people you have known for years, decades even, and suddenly they seem different. Not changed in the normal way people change, but fundamentally altered, as though they are becoming someone else entirely. Your partner who used to share your values now seems unreachable, locked in perspectives that feel alien to you. Your friends who used to energize you now drain you within minutes. Your family members who once felt like home now feel like strangers speaking a language you no longer understand. You have tried to bridge these gaps. You have tried to explain, to communicate, to find common ground, but it is like shouting across a chasm that grows wider every day. This is not just disagreement. This is not simply growing apart. This is the two worlds becoming visible through the people around you. Here is what is really happening, and this will be difficult to hear. Some souls on Earth right now have chosen, at a level beyond their conscious awareness, to remain in the lower frequency. This is not a judgment. It is not a condemnation. It is a sacred choice that every soul makes according to its own evolutionary timeline. These souls need more time in the density, more lessons in the three-dimensional classroom, more experiences in the realm of separation and duality. They are not wrong. They are not lost. They are not lesser than you. They are simply choosing a different curriculum, and that curriculum requires them to solidify their stories, strengthen their patterns, double down on their beliefs. You cannot save them. You cannot drag them with you. You cannot love them into awakening. Any attempt to do so will only bind you to the frequency they have chosen. This is where your heart breaks open. This is where the split becomes personal, intimate, devastating, because you realize that some of the people you love most in this world are choosing the other path. They are choosing to stay in the world where fear is the dominant frequency, where separation is the organizing principle, where suffering is the primary teacher, and you cannot change this for them. You can only witness it, honor it, and allow them the dignity of their own choice, even as you make yours. The grief of this recognition is staggering. It feels like death, and in a way it is. It is the death of the shared reality you thought you were living in together. It is the end of the collective dream you believed everyone was having simultaneously. It is the loss of the world where everyone you love gets to come with you into the new paradigm. But here is what the Astasar command wants you to understand. This split, this separation, this divergence of paths is happening because it must. Your planet has reached a point where the two frequencies can no longer coexist in the same experiential field. For too long, Earth has tried to hold space for both ascension and dissolution, for both awakening and slumber, for both conscious evolution and unconscious repetition. The tension of this has created the chaos you see everywhere. The violence, the division, the extremism, the environmental collapse, the mental health crisis, the systems breaking down, all of it is the result of two incompatible realities trying to occupy the same space. The split is not a tragedy, it is a mercy. It is the cosmic intelligence of Source itself, allowing each soul to fully experience the reality it has chosen without the interference of the other. The third sign of the split is a change in how you experience time itself. Hours pass in what feels like minutes. Days blur together. You lose track of what month it is, what season you are in. But paradoxically, you also experience moments of such intense presence that a single second seems to contain lifetimes. You are in a meeting at work, and suddenly you are watching yourself from outside your body, aware of the complete artificiality of the social construct you are participating in. You are having dinner with your family, and you simultaneously perceive them as they are now, as they were as children, and as the ancient souls they truly are behind their human masks. Time is no longer linear for you. It is folding, looping, revealing itself as the construct it has always been. This is not dissociation. This is your consciousness beginning to operate from the higher frequency where past, present, and future exist as one eternal now. The lower frequency world that is forming on Earth is solidifying time, making it more rigid, more pressing, more anxiety-inducing. In that world, there is never enough time. Everything is urgent. Everything is a crisis. Everything requires immediate action and constant vigilance. The nervous system stays in perpetual fight or flight, and this is by design. Fear keeps consciousness locked in linear time, trapped in the illusion of scarcity, convinced that there is not enough time, not enough resources, not enough love, not enough safety. The stories thrive in this frequency because fear is their food, and scarcity is their native language. The fourth sign, and this is where it becomes undeniable, is that you can feel other people's stories as tangible things. You walk into a room and you know immediately who is carrying rage they inherited from their father. You look at your friend and you can see the energetic chains connecting her to an ex-boyfriend from 3 years ago. His story still wrapped around her heart chakra, blocking new love from entering. You stand in line at the grocery store, and the person behind you is emanating their mother's unworthiness so strongly you can barely breathe. This is not metaphor. This is not imagination. You are perceiving the actual energetic reality that exists beneath the surface of all human interaction. You are seeing what has always been there, but was invisible to your previous level of consciousness. This ability is a gift, but it comes with a terrible burden, because now you understand why your relationships have never worked the way you wanted them to. Every time someone looked at you, they were not actually seeing you. They were seeing you filtered through every story they carried about love, about worthiness, about what is possible between two people, and you were doing the same to them. Every human interaction has been a collision of inherited narratives, projections, and carried trauma. True seeing, true meeting, true connection has been almost impossible because no one was showing up as themselves. Everyone was showing up as a walking library of other people's stories, and in those stories we're having the relationships, not the souls underneath them. But here is what almost no one tells you about this process. Before you can release the stories, you have to see them. You have to acknowledge them. You have to witness the ways you have been living your life according to programming that was installed before you could speak. And this seeing is agonizing, because it means recognizing how much of your life has not been yours. How many choices you made because your mother expected it. How many dreams you abandoned because your father could not imagine them. How many relationships you accepted because your grandmother's story of unworthiness told you this was all you deserved. The grief of this recognition could bring you to your knees. The rage at what was stolen, what was never given, what was imposed upon you, could consume you. This is the dark night of the soul that so many are experiencing right now. This is the fire that burns away everything that is not essentially you. The fifth sign is the most confusing. You start to feel like two entirely different people. Some days you wake up and you are clear, certain, powerful, connected to a source of infinite wisdom that flows through you effortlessly. You make decisions with ease. You speak your truth without fear. You create beauty and meaning from a place of pure inspiration. But other days, sometimes just hours later, you are a completely different person. Anxious, doubtful, overwhelmed, convinced that you are failing at everything, unable to make even simple decisions, terrified of other people's judgment, feeling like a fraud, an imposter, someone playing at enlightenment but fundamentally broken underneath. You think you are bipolar. You think you are unstable. You think there is something deeply wrong with you. But you are not broken. You are living in both worlds simultaneously, and the version of you that can exist in each world is entirely different. In the higher frequency, you have access to your soul's full power, clarity, and creative potential. In the lower frequency, you are still operating from the wounded ego, the accumulated stories, the survival mechanisms that kept you safe in a world that felt dangerous. The disorientation you feel is not mental illness. It is the cognitive and emotional whiplash of moving between two incompatible realities multiple times a day, sometimes multiple times an hour. Your nervous system is trying to calibrate to a stable baseline, but there is no stable baseline anymore. The ground itself is splitting beneath your feet, and you are learning to exist in both dimensions until the moment of final choice. The Astasar command has been tracking the energetic signature of lightworkers experiencing this split consciousness, and what they have discovered is profound. You are not meant to choose yet, not consciously, not with your thinking mind. The choice is happening at a cellular level, in your DNA, in the quantum field of your being. Every time you choose love over fear, truth over comfort, sovereignty over approval, you are coding yourself into the higher frequency. Every time you release a story that is not yours, set a boundary that honors your truth, walk away from relationships that require you to betray yourself, you are programming your consciousness for the new world. But this is not a linear process. It is not about being perfect, or never falling back into old patterns. It is about the overall trajectory, the dominant frequency you are choosing to align with most of the time. The sixth sign is a paradox that will test your sanity. You are more sensitive than you have ever been, more aware, more awake, more able to perceive subtle energies, but you are also more exhausted, more overwhelmed, more unable to function in the normal world than you have ever been. You can see auras around people's heads, but you cannot remember what day it is. You can sense the emotional state of someone on the other side of the planet, but you cannot seem to complete simple tasks. You receive profound downloads of cosmic information in your sleep, but you cannot focus on a conversation for more than 2 minutes. This is not cognitive decline. This is not early onset dementia. This is your consciousness expanding beyond the bandwidth that your current nervous system was designed to process. You are receiving more information than your human biology can integrate, and the overwhelm you feel is the gap between what you know and what your body can embody. The old spiritual paradigm told you that awakening would make life easier, that once you saw the truth you would be free, that enlightenment meant peace, bliss, unity consciousness, and the end of suffering. But that was a lie, or at least a profound misunderstanding. Real awakening is the most challenging thing a soul can experience because it requires you to hold multiple realities simultaneously. You must function in the three-dimensional world of bills, jobs, relationships, and social expectations, while simultaneously existing in the higher dimensional reality of cosmic consciousness, quantum possibility, and infinite love. You must be human and divine at the same time. And these two states of being do not play well together. One requires you to contract, to focus, to narrow your awareness into a single point. The other requires you to expand, to release, to dissolve into limitless awareness. The strain of holding both is what you are feeling right now. But here is what makes it all worthwhile. The brief moments when you do successfully hold both realities at once, when you can be fully human and fully divine simultaneously. Those moments are doorways. They are portals into the new world. They are previews of what awaits you on the other side of the split. In those moments, you experience a level of peace, joy, and creative power that cannot exist in either frequency alone. You become a bridge between worlds, and through you, the higher dimensional energy flows into the physical realm. This is your purpose. This is why you incarnated at this impossible moment. Not to escape the physical, not to transcend the human experience, but to be so fully present in both that you become the anchor point for a new way of being human. The seventh sign will make you question everything you have been taught about spirituality. You thought awakening meant becoming more loving, more compassionate, more accepting of everyone. You thought spiritual growth meant being nice, being positive, being a beacon of light that never judges, never rejects, never turns anyone away. But now you are finding yourself doing things that feel deeply unkind. You are cutting people out of your life without explanation. You are saying no without offering reasons. You are walking away from situations that are objectively good on paper, but feel wrong in your body. You are setting boundaries that other people experience as cruel, selfish, even abusive, and a part of you feels guilty, afraid that you are becoming the thing you always feared. Cold, disconnected, heartless. But you are not becoming heartless. You are becoming sovereign. There is a profound difference between unconditional love and unconditional access. You can love someone deeply and still refuse to let them into your energy field. You can honor someone's journey and still refuse to be part of it. You can hold compassion for someone's pain and still refuse to carry it for them. The stories you have been carrying include the story that love means martyrdom, that kindness means self-sacrifice, that being spiritual means allowing everyone to take whatever they need from you, regardless of the cost to your own well-being. This is not love. This is a distortion of love, a manipulation of love, a weaponization of love to keep you bound to relationships and situations that drain your life force. The higher frequency world does not operate on these principles. In that dimension, love is the energy of sovereign respect. You honor another's path by allowing them to walk it without your interference, without your rescue, without your need to fix or save or change them. And you honor your own path by guarding your energy fiercely, by refusing to dilute your frequency to accommodate those who have chosen differently, by recognizing that the most loving thing you can do for some people is to leave them alone. This is not cold. This is not cruel. This is mature love, wise love, love that understands that every soul must be allowed to experience the full consequences of its choices without interference from those who would soften the lessons. The eighth sign is subtle but undeniable once you see it. The physical world around you is becoming less solid. Objects seem less permanent. Walls feel more permeable. You look at a building and you can somehow sense it is not as real as it appears, that it is held together by collective agreement more than by actual physical laws. You touch a table and it feels both solid and somehow transparent at the same time. Colors seem brighter, more vibrant, as though a film has been removed from your vision. Or conversely, sometimes the physical world looks flat, dull, like a bad stage set or a cheap video game. You are perceiving the illusory nature of physical matter itself, the way that solid reality is actually energy condensed to a slow vibration, held in form by consciousness. This is happening because the split is not just energetic or emotional or spiritual. It is affecting the very fabric of physical reality. The higher frequency world is less dense, less solid, more fluid. Matter responds more readily to consciousness in that dimension. Manifestation is faster. Healing is easier. The laws of physics themselves operate differently. Meanwhile, the lower frequency world is becoming more dense, more rigid, more heavy. Matter is hardening there, becoming more fixed, more resistant to change. The same substance, the same atoms, occupying two different dimensional frequencies, and behaving completely differently based on the consciousness observing them. Some days your thoughts manifest almost instantly. You think of someone, and they text you. You need something, and it appears. You intend healing, and your body responds immediately. Other days, nothing works. You work harder than ever, and see no result. You follow all the right steps, and everything falls apart. You do everything you are supposed to do, and the universe seems to actively work against you. This is not inconsistency. This is you moving between two different dimensional realities, and each one operates according to its own laws. In the higher frequency, you are the creator of your reality, and everything responds to your consciousness. In the lower frequency, you are subject to the old laws of cause and effect, effort and reward, linear time and material limitation. The 9th sign will confirm everything I have been telling you. You are being asked to choose, not overtly, not with a cosmic voice from the sky, or a letter delivered by an angel, but through 1,000 small moments, 1,000 tiny decisions, 1,000 forks in the road that all add up to the same essential question. Which world do you want to live in? The safe one where you know the rules and can predict outcomes, or the wild one where anything is possible but nothing is guaranteed? The comfortable one where you fit in and belong, or the authentic one where you might be completely alone? The familiar one where your stories protect you from disappointment, or the liberated one where you are naked and vulnerable, but finally free? These choices come disguised as everyday decisions. Should you stay in this job that is killing your soul but pays your bills? Or should you leap into the unknown? Should you remain in this relationship that is familiar but deadening? Or should you risk being alone? Should you keep your mouth shut about what you really think to preserve peace? Or should you speak your truth and face the consequences? Should you continue performing the version of yourself that makes others comfortable? Or should you let that mask fall and show them who you really are? Every choice is an initiation. Every decision is a vote for which world you are coding yourself into. The Astasar Command is monitoring these choice points across the planet, and they report that the majority of humanity is choosing unconsciously, driven by fear, defaulting to the familiar, clinging to the known even as it crumbles around them. This is neither right nor wrong. It is simply the choice they are making. But you, beloved, you who are reading these words, you are being called to choose consciously. You are being asked to recognize that every decision you make is either strengthening your connection to the old world or anchoring you in the new one. There is no neutral ground anymore. There is no middle path. The split is forcing a choice, and you make that choice 100 times a day through actions so small you barely notice them. The 10th sign is the most painful. You look at the world and you see the suffering everywhere. The wars, the poverty, the environmental destruction, the violence, the cruelty, the way humans treat each other, and the planet, and the animals with such casual disregard. And a part of you wants to fix it. A part of you wants to save everyone, heal everything, prevent every disaster, protect every innocent. But you are discovering that you cannot. Not because you lack the power or the love or the desire, but because the suffering itself is part of the curriculum. It is not random. It is not meaningless. It is the mechanism by which souls in the lower frequency are learning the lessons they came here to learn. But now, because of the split, that world is coming closer. The veil between dimensions is thinning. The higher frequency is bleeding through into physical reality more and more. And those of you who have done the work to release your stories, clear your ancestral karma, and choose sovereignty over safety, you are beginning to experience that world not as a distant possibility, but as a lived reality. You are the pioneers. You are the bridge builders. You are the ones who go first into the unknown and send back signals to show others the way. The 11th sign is that you have stopped trying to convince anyone of anything. You used to feel this burning need to wake people up, to share what you were learning, to help everyone see what you could see. But now you understand that consciousness cannot be transferred through words. It has to be experienced. Each soul has to walk its own path at its own pace, and your job is not to drag anyone along, but to embody the frequency so fully that those who are ready can feel it and be drawn toward it naturally. You have become a tuning fork, vibrating at a frequency that either resonates with someone or it does not, and you have learned to be at peace with both outcomes. This is the signature of someone who is stabilizing in the higher frequency. You no longer need anyone to validate your experience. You no longer need everyone to agree with you. You no longer need to prove you are right. You simply know what you know, and you trust that your knowing is enough. This does not mean you stop speaking your truth. It means you stop speaking it with attachment to outcome. You share when you are genuinely called to share, but you do not force. You do not manipulate. You do not use shame or fear or spiritual bypassing to get people to see things your way. You offer the frequency, and you allow each person to respond to it according to their own readiness. But here is the challenge. The old world will not let you go easily. It will test you again and again to see if you really mean it. It will offer you everything you ever wanted, if you will just come back to the familiar frequency: money, success, love, security, approval. All of it will be dangled in front of you like bait. And the catch is always the same. To have it, you have to betray yourself. You have to silence your truth. You have to carry someone else's story. You have to dim your light. You have to pretend you are less than you are. This is the test. This is how you know whether you have truly chosen the higher frequency or whether you are just visiting it on weekends while still living primarily in the old paradigm. The 12th sign is the most profound, and it will tell you definitively which world you are anchoring into. You begin to experience joy for no reason. Not happiness, not pleasure, not excitement about some future event, but pure causeless joy that arises from the simple fact of being alive. You could be doing laundry, and suddenly you are flooded with it. You could be stuck in traffic, and it washes over you. You could be going through the worst crisis of your life, and underneath all the pain, all the fear, all the uncertainty, there is this unshakable foundation of joy that does not depend on circumstances changing. This is the signature frequency of the higher dimensional world. Joy is its ground state, its default setting, and when you begin to experience this, you know beyond any doubt that you have crossed the threshold. The age of solitary meditation is over. Destiny Engine now connects starseeds across the world, a living social field where you can post, share, and exchange your meditations in real time. It's the first galactic network of its kind, weaving together thousands of awakened souls into one unified current. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking declassified CIA consciousness modification techniques that programmed isolation and separation, and repurposing them to serve unified awakening. It generates personalized sequences that help you live as the awakened being you've become, while handling the moments that test your new frequency, all while connected to thousands of starseeds amplifying the collective current. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to be reprogrammed for effortless awakened living without the need to struggle or prove, while tapping into a planetary network of souls bending reality together. For just $1, you can step into this connected field and feel the difference instantly. Join the movement that's accelerating ascension together. Link in the description. The two worlds are here. They are both available. They are both real. And you get to choose which one you live in, through the quality of consciousness you bring to each moment. Not through perfection, not through never falling back into old patterns, but through the overall trajectory of your choices, the dominant frequency you are willing to claim as your own, the sovereign decision to be yourself no matter what it costs. And when you finally fully choose, when you stop hedging your bets and playing it safe, and trying to keep one foot in each world, when you leap all the way into the higher frequency even though you cannot see the net, something miraculous happens. The universe rises to meet you. The Astasar command activates support systems you did not know existed. Other souls who have made the same choice begin appearing in your life. Synchronicities multiply. Resources flow. Doors open that were invisible before. Not because you earned it or proved yourself worthy, but because you finally aligned with the frequency that was always your birthright. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I am here to tell you that you are not crazy. You are not broken. You are not failing. You are in the middle of the most profound transformation your soul has ever undertaken, and you are doing better than you think. The heaviness you feel is real, but it is not permanent. The grief is necessary, but it will not last forever. The loneliness is part of the passage, but community awaits you on the other side. We see you, we honor you, we celebrate your courage, and we are holding space for the full emergence of who you are becoming, which has always been who you truly are. The split is here, the choice is yours, and whatever you choose, beloved, Choose it fully. Choose it consciously. Choose it with your whole heart. Because this is not a dress rehearsal. This is the moment your soul has been waiting for across countless lifetimes. This is your time. We love you beyond measure, and we are watching over you always.